What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So today what we're going to do is look at all of the special rares in One Piece, starting from Pillars of Strength, and we'll go all the way up to OP11 and just discuss them, see what's happening in the market. And I believe this is all of them. If I missed any, definitely feel free to leave me a comment down below so next time I can make sure to include it. But I'm pretty confident. I mean, I went through TCG Player and everything with an SP was taken. So they did start in '03 with the wanted posters, and maybe there was another card or two, but the wanted posters in Pillars of Strength were kind of like the first special rares that we got in One Piece. And we'll go through these, but I just want to say to begin and start out the video that I'm really not a fan of a lot of these. And when I look at One Piece and the artistic style in One Piece, I just don't think it's that great. I know some people like these cards, and hey, that's awesome, but when I compare a game like One Piece and some of these special rares and secret rares, I love the mangas. I'll say that I think the mangas are very unique. They're awesome cards. But when I look at special rares, when I look at a lot of alternate art cards, the art style and just what's going on, it's not super complex. It's very basic. And the cards to me just get very repetitive. And I really just do not think that that is a good thing long term. A lot of value in these cards, first of all, comes from the TCG, some of these cards being meta, and you'll see in this video a couple cards going up in price over the past 3 months just because they are, I believe, meta cards, and you'll see some coming down. But for the most part, outside of TCG value, it's just because there's a lot of rarity to some of these cards. Not that they're crazy desirable like the manga cards or anything else, which those are rare as well. But to me, I just see so many cards that are special rares that are incredibly basic. I think if Bandai continues to do this with all their special rares, they're going to have issues in the future. And I'm going to try and point out a couple of the special rares that I think have better artworks that I would recommend to Bandai to kind of follow and do more creative things with their characters, right? And go a little bit deeper other than just, printing them on a card and having a fancy background that for some people does it, but for most people doesn't. So we'll start off OPO3 wanted posters. These aren't doing too hot. The Luffy one sitting around $103 currently, down 13.21% over the past 3 months. You're going to see a trend of downwards momentum on a lot of these cards. And I don't know how low they're going to go. So if you guys are thinking about getting some of these, you want to pick them up, maybe this is a good opportunity. We're definitely off highs on a lot of these cards. But the Luffy down 13%, the Kid Captain rather, Udis Captain Kid down 36.75% over the past 3 months. That's not great. This was an $80 card, now sitting around 52. And when you think about it, it kind of just reminds me of like an old school Pokemon card from the WotC era where it's just like a half photo and then everything else is kind of meh. We're so used to having like full arts and very shiny, sparkly things. Now, these were kind of basic. They still are kind of basic, but I don't think you can really make it a full art or anything. And that's why I don't hate on the wanted posters too much, but I can understand why some people just do not find these interesting at all. They do not want to collect them. But for some people, because it's part of One Piece as well, like the whole wanted thing, right? It makes sense. So whatever, 50-ish dollars. And then the Kaido one, this is down to $34, only down 7.74%, but this was never super, super expensive. Next up, we have the Doflamingo, and I think this is the last wanted poster from '03. This one's down 13%, similar to the Luffy, sitting around $40. Next up, we'll go into Kingdoms of Intrigue. This is where we see a couple kind of interesting characters at least pop up, and they're like full art cards. They're not a wanted poster or whatever. So the Boa Hancock, this is still fairly expensive, $231, $232. Negligible movement over the past 3 months, only down 0.11%. And then the Law, Trafalgar Law, this is sitting around, was that $66, only down 7.41% over the past 3 months. If we look at the 1 month chart, it's actually going to be up 5%. So definitely off its low, but still a reasonable price if you are a Law collector and are trying to pick up all of the cards there. Next up, we have the Whitebeard Edward Newgate. This is from OPO4. I find some of these artworks very strange. Like when I look at this card, it just doesn't do it for me. I think it's a bit bizarre. Maybe there's some lore behind it that I just don't understand, but definitely not the art style for me. And it's probably not for most people. That's kind of why in the price column, $34.13, down 16%, it really isn't reflected as being a super desirable card. Next up, we have Magellan. I actually haven't met this character yet in the anime. I'm at about episode 390, 395, something like that. I'm actually moving quite fast. Whenever I'm exercising now, I throw it at like 1.5 speed on Netflix and I just do my cardio and I'll listen to One Piece. So a lot of episodes I'm actually not watching, but I'm listening, understand what's going on. But it is cool for me to, get further in the anime, meet a new character, and then look at some of the cards. I definitely have a new appreciation for them. For example, Luffy and friends just got through Thriller Bark, so we met Gecko Moria and then Perona and a couple other characters. But that was an awesome experience. Moving on, we're going to have to get through this because I don't want to rant too much. It's going to be a long video for you guys. And I know some of you like shorter videos, so I'll try and balance it out. Sakazuki, this is a Marine, another character I haven't met yet. This is sitting around $20-ish, down 23% over the past month. And then moving into OPO5, we have the Nami. This one is down 10% over the past 3 months. This was around $200, now sitting around 170. And this is kind of what I mean by, these cards just don't do it for me. I understand if you're a waifu collector, if you're a Nami fan, you're probably going to love this card. But for me, I just see a character on a piece of cardboard with a semi-interesting background. There's nothing crazy going on. The art is not super impressive, in my opinion. And for me, it's kind of just on par with like a full art in Pokemon. Like it's nothing super interesting, and a lot of the value obviously comes from Nami being a popular character, but the rarity, the exclusivity of the cards, very difficult to pull. That's kind of playing a role here. And in my opinion, if these cards were more interesting, the artworks were more desirable, a card like this could be, I don't know, $300, $400, and we'll see that later with another Nami that I think is a bit more interesting, and maybe it's a bit more difficult to pull, maybe not, I don't know. I don't really know the pull rates in between sets. Like, we don't have great data in One Piece. We kind of have an idea of, how many special rares you get in a case, how many mangas you get on average, but in terms of every individual set, like the data just still isn't there yet, which is something I really hope changes in the future and we get better numbers. Either way, I'm just ranting at this point, which is not good. We have the Yamato. Yamato's actually up 12.76% over the past 3 months. This is a very rare card that's gone up over the past 90 days, and it's sitting around $95. Yamato is a fairly popular character, but again, it's just a character on a piece of cardboard, semi-interesting background to me. It doesn't get it done, in my opinion. Next up, we have Uta. This one's down 14%, sitting around $75-ish dollars. Same thing there. We have a Nell down 20%, sitting around $47. Next up, we have Kaido, and this is still from OPO5. This one's down 34.5% over the past 3 months. Very big drop there, sitting around $39. So again, if you want to pick up any of these cards, this might be a decent time to do it. I wonder if we do the 1 year charts on just a couple of these to see. Fairly flat actually on the year. They're kind of going in waves here, which is interesting. I wonder if they're all like this. We can check the Uta too, and then maybe go check the Ami. So the Uta is up over the past 12 months fairly substantially. The Yamato, same deal, up 73%. So if you bought these a year ago for like $40, $50, you're probably doing quite well and you're happy with that. But if you bought them recently, you're probably not as happy. Nami, same deal. Like you could have bought this for $90, $100, it seems. Now sitting around 170. That's still a decent come up. So if you bought these a long time ago, you've been holding, fine, awesome. But if you bought in the short term, you're probably just going to have to continue holding. Now, I think that's the next one. Okay, sorry, we missed one here. Rob Lucci from OPO5. This one's down 9.85% over the past 3 months. 1 year chart, we can look at it as well. Up 23.29%. So not terrible. It seems like a lot of these cards were fairly cheap a year ago, and now they're kind of getting to where they should be and pulling back a little bit off their highs. Now, I kind of regret that we jumped right to this one because the buggy, I wanted to build this up a little bit. This card is up 52.67% over the past 3 months. I believe this is because buggy is playable. It's in the meta right now. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments down below, but in terms of artwork, out of all of these cards, this is like the first card where they tried to do something different with the artwork. Like if we go through all of these SPs, it's just a character in the middle of the card with a different background. Same deal, Kaido, Enel, Uta, Yamato, you get the picture. Whereas with the buggy, and this is OPO6, I love it. You have all the jewels in the background looking up. They're almost like floating. You have the treasure chest in the front. It's an awesome card. And I'm a buggy fan. This is a great artwork. Like if they did this level of artwork for popular characters like Luffy, Nami, cards would be way more expensive. This is great. I hope Bandai in the future goes more down this road than just giving it like an abstract background. This is awesome. Continue to do what you did with the buggy, and hopefully like they go even further, like make the artworks more complex. You could even add in more characters. Like again, just because it's a buggy card doesn't mean Buggy's the only person that has to be in it. Like you could have a Buggy and Shanks card from when they were younger on Roger's crew or whatever. Like there's so many different ways you could do artworks that Bandai still hasn't gotten to yet that I hope they do in the future. But I might have to pick up this card. It's sitting around $88 currently, so it is fairly expensive and desirable. Next up, you guys already saw these because I skipped forward a couple. The Rebecca from OP06. This is down 23% approximately over the past 3 months. I think it is up on the 1 year chart though. Actually, no, it's not. Down 35% approximately. But you can see like after release, this was sitting around $89. I think it's going to be quite valuable. Waifu element is there. I don't think this is ever going to be like a $30, $40 card. Miss All Sunday, Nico Robin. This one's down 14% over the past 3 months, 67-ish dollars there. Not my favorite Robin artwork, but you know, it's still pretty cool with all the arms and everything. There might be another card in here of Robin that we'll talk about. I can't remember. Charlotte Linlin, Big Mom. This one is down 32.46% over the past 3 months. This was very expensive now, not so much, and that's still from '06. Sugar from '06 down 25.4%, sitting around $27. Not a terrible artwork. I do like that they tried to do something different with all the artworks in the OP06 set with the backgrounds. They're different from '05. I really do appreciate that. Now, next up, we have Onami. This is from OP07. This is still a very expensive card, even though it's down 12% over the past 3 months, sitting around $132 still. 1 year chart down 8.15%. You could have bought this though in November for around $90. You could have sold it for 170, almost doubled your money. I really like this artwork. I think it's a great Nami card. I think that collectors in the future will be wanting to get a hold of this one for their binders or maybe even getting a PSA 10 copy of it. That's a great artwork. Next up, we have Doflamingo, 500 years in the future. Not the most popular character, not terrible either though. Like people know who Doflamingo is. Around $50, down 10% over the past 3 months. Next up, we have Captain again. This one's down 40% over the past 3 months. It was a $50 card, now around 29-ish dollars. 1 year chart down almost 50%. Next up, we have Izzo from 500 Years in the Future '07. This one's down 6.4%, kind of meh. I haven't met this character yet. Doesn't seem like a super popular one. Isho, same deal, down 12.23%, $21 card, $22 card. Next up, we have Okiku, same deal, down 40, almost 41%, 20-ish dollars. These are not super popular characters and not very desirable cards. Next up, we get into '08, Jewelry Bonnie. This is a very desirable card, sitting around 112 USD, down 20% over the past 3 months. This was a very expensive card a few months ago. I think part of that had to do with it being meta and now it not being as meta. You could have been buying this back in September for around 80-ish dollars. In the future, this card probably still is going to be desirable and collectible. The waifu element is there. I understand Bonnie's like 12 years old, but the reality is people are going to buy this card if they're waifu collectors. Also, Bonnie is a fairly popular character, but my problem with cards like this is, again, they went back to like the '05 style where it's just a character in the middle and they do an abstract background. It's super boring to me. I think a lot of people don't enjoy artworks like this, so I really wish Bandai would move away from this. Maybe they have market data telling them that this is the way they should go, but I honestly just think that it's them being lazy or just so caught up doing like 100 different games that they just don't have time to hire the artists and do the work necessary in order to create better artworks that are more creative and more in-depth. Same thing, Ace from '08. This one's actually only down 2%, but again, it's just a character in the middle. A little bit better background maybe because, you know, Fire Fist Ace, you have the flames and stuff. Like maybe it's a little more connected, but either way, still nothing crazy in my opinion. We have a Tashigi from '08. This one's actually up 6.77% over the past 3 months. We can look at a 1 year chart, up 660% since release. And yeah, realistically, it's been quite flat over the past 2 years once it got to around $40 in September, past year rather. Same deal, Tashigi. She's got her sword, so like maybe it's a little bit more creative, but again, just a character, background, nothing crazy. Charlotte Pudding from Two Legends. down 23% over the past 3 months, sitting around $48. Queen 08, this is down 43.41%, $22, not a super popular one there. Gecko Moria, down 48%, another $20 card. Then we have Nami, we're getting into 09 now. This is an interesting card, down 11.19% over the past 3 months, $265. This was up to around $300 at one point. It's still a very popular character. Everybody likes Nami. Obviously, waifu collectors are going to love this card. I mean, it's Nami and panties. I think the background's a little bit more connected. I like this card more than the 05 one. She has her rod. I believe, what's this character's name? Zeus? Is that Zeus? I'm going to get roasted in the comments because I get so many things wrong still. But either way, I do like this artwork a little bit more. I think it's going to be more desirable than the 05 one if we can go back and find it here. I think, yeah, this one right here. I think that the 09 one is going to be a little bit better if we can get back there. There's just so many tabs here. But yeah, still $265. It's going to be an expensive card. Don't expect this to be $100 one day. I just don't see that happening. Boa Hancock, same deal. Waifu elements there, down 14.37%. I don't know how much cheaper these cards are going to get. We did get the restock of 09. If we get another restock, maybe the cards come down even more, but I don't know how likely that is with Bandai having to do a lot the rest of 2025 to get ready for next year. Zoro Juro, this is up 6% approximately. I think this card is playable, correct me if I'm wrong, so I think there was some value there for that reason, up 129% since release. Next up, we have a couple of the wanted posters. So the Luffy one, this is, I believe, the only other time we've seen wanted posters since the Pillars of Strength days back in OP03, if we can get back here. So the Luffy one down 14.24%. I actually prefer the art style of these compared to the originals. The originals just had so many colors and stuff. Like if we go look at the Captain one's green and brown, and then this one's like purple and brown. I get it's the color of the leader in the game, whatever, that's fine. But I just like the art style of these more. So we have the Luffy that's down. The Shanks you just saw down 27%, $76. Then we have the Buggy, which is actually up 17.5%. Again, I think this is because Buggy is quite playable right now. Correct me if I'm wrong. Then we have the Dragon card, Monkey D. Dragon, down 34%, $69, $70-ish dollars. We have another wanted poster. This is the Blackbeard one, down 31%, $66. So if you guys want these cards, again, you're getting a pretty decent discount on them right now. Anything in 09, like even the Gold Roger, we've seen pulled back a little bit. So if you want these cards, the best time to buy cards is a few months after a reprint comes or a large restock comes, because more people are opening product. There's going to be more singles on the market, and then simple supply and demand is going to push that price down unless there's an increase in demand to make up for that increase in supply. Now, moving on, we have a couple more here from 09, I believe. So we have Rosinante. This is down 22.75%, around $60. Again, I just hate it. It's a character, an abstract background, does nothing for me. I just really do not like these cards. Rob Lucci, down 14%, sitting around $50. Then we have Usuhachi. This is where we're getting into Royal Blood, OP10. And I actually don't mind some of the SPs in OP10. So this is a little bit better of an artwork. Not my favorite, but it's still all right. $135, down 27% over the past 3 months. Next up, I love this card, Whitebeard, Edward Newgate, special rare, $90. It's down 40% over the past 3 months. This could get a little bit cheaper. OP10 is still a fairly new set. We haven't even got like a restock of it yet. I saw like Wave 2 pre-orders go out a couple months ago, but I don't know if that's a restock or a reprint. I think that's just like distribution pushing out more products. So we might get more Royal Blood booster boxes in the future. That was probably going to be down the line, like maybe next year if that happens, 2 years from now, who knows. Not a super popular set, but I really do like this card. And in terms of the artwork, it's one of those cards where, Bandai kind of pushed the envelope. It's not just a character in the middle. And you can kind of see they do this with sets like 06, they did it. 08, they didn't, I don't think. And then 010, OP10 now, they're doing it again. So Whitebeard with his crew, drinking beer, ale, whatever it is, awesome. I think you continue doing this sort of card if you're Bandai. I really do like these. Next up, Sanji. It's not the craziest artwork in here, down 8.89%, $65. If you're a Sanji collector, you're probably going to want this card. But I do like that they're doing something different and at least trying. Like to me, I really can appreciate that. So continue doing this type of card, Bandai, and even just push it further. Like again, like a lot of these cards you could add in multiple characters, people that are connected to the character in the card, right? Like Sanji, you could do a Sanji and Zoro, you could do a Sanji with other straw hats, whatever. Like Sanji cooking would be awesome. So there's so many different ways that Bandai could go if they just put in the effort to me. Like it really just seems like they're lazy with a lot of these. Next up, we have the Urosh. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Up 18.1% over the past 3 months. Another character that I haven't come across yet around the 400th episode. This is sitting around $40. It's a decent artwork, I guess. I mean, it's better than just a character with an abstract background. So I do like that they did a little bit with it. Maybe there's some lore here that I don't understand because I haven't met this character yet, but for me, I'm just happy that it's not as bland as some of these other sets. Next up, we have Charlotte Flampy. I hope I hope I'm saying that again correctly. I'm gonna get roasted in the comments. I just know it's coming. Down 33%, $31.10. Decent artwork, I guess. Next up, we have Charlotte Pudding. I really like this one. The colors and everything, what's going on. You have the desserts in the background. Looks like there's some tea there as well. It's down 31%, sitting around $29. I think that's a decent price. Like if you wanted to pick this card up for your collection, under $30 for a card like this, the waifu elements there, even as an investment, right? Like if you really believe the waifus are going to pop off one day. We did see that in Pokemon like a couple of years ago. A lot of the waifu cards from Sun and Moon era and even Sword and Shield era went crazy. I don't know if that's ever going to happen in One Piece, but sub $30 for a card like this, sure. I think that's reasonable. Next up, we'll get into OP11. This is the final set we're going to talk about. We have the Monkey D. Luffy. This is the '05 reprint. It's down 18.68% over the past 3 months. OP11 hasn't even been out 3 months yet. It makes sense. After release, you're going to see cards come down in price, sitting around $2,400 currently. The most recent sale, $2,100, and that was 3 days ago, July 21st. Then we have the silver print of it. This is sitting around $1,200, down 10.86%. Next up, we have the Luffy Taru. This is down 42.43%, $115. Going back to, again, the boring artworks, in my opinion. Then we have a Sanji, same deal. This is an $85 card, down 62%. A lot of these are going to be down a lot over the past 3 months. Again, guys, it's just after release. It makes sense. Don't worry about that too much. This is why you don't buy cards for your collection right at release, because they are going to be cheaper. Just give it a few months. The Shanks, same deal, $77, down 51% since release. Then we have a Shirahoshi, down 58.45%, $54 there. Then a couple more here, the Silver Israeli. This one's actually slowly ticking back up over the past couple weeks. Still down 54.58% since release, $45 card. The 1 month chart, though, looks a little bit better, up 22.49%. And then finally, we have the Stussy. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Stussy. I believe this is Whitebeard's wife, I believe. I haven't got that far in the anime, so correct me if I'm wrong in the comments down below. But this card's down 65%. It's a $46 card. Nothing crazy in my opinion. I hate the artworks. You guys have heard me say that about 20 times in this video already. But I want to get it across because I really hope Bandai tries their best in the future to appeal to the card collectors, not just the people playing the TCG. And the reason for this, because if you look at it from a monetary perspective, and I could be wrong, so you guys let me know what you think down below, but I would feel that the people collecting cards, at least when I look at Pokemon, and I know they're different games, but when I look at Pokemon, the people spending more money on the hobby aren't the people actually playing the TCG. It's the people collecting the cards, people that want to open packs, rip packs, try and master set, whatever they're doing. They want to collect like every Charizard card or every Alakazam card, whatever it is. Those are the people spending a lot of money on the hobby. People playing the TCG, I mean, you can play the TCG with like the 5-cent uncommon card or the 10-cent uncommon or the dollar rare. And I feel like it's the same thing in One Piece. A lot of the people playing the TCG constantly complain that the cards are too expensive. And I understand, like, if a regular rare is $12, like, that's ridiculous to me. I've talked about this before. I do think cards should be cheaper, but these aren't people going out and ripping tons of booster boxes, trying to master set, whatever. So if Bandai wants to make more money, in my opinion, it makes sense to appeal to the collecting side of the hobby more than they're doing right now. And to do that, you're going to have to get more creative with the artworks. You're going to have to go in depth. You're going to have to put in the work because to me, like, it really does seem like they have a couple illustrations of each character. They just throw it on a card. They do a different background. I don't know if they're using AI or whatever. They pay an artist to do the background. I don't know. To me, it just seems like it's slop. It seems really lackluster and boring, and I just do not like these. And again, you can disagree all you want, and that's perfectly fine. If you like these cards, awesome. I'm not trying to hate on like your artistic style and your preferences. I just think that if they do more intricate artworks, they appeal to the collecting side of the hobby, their game is going to grow. And for them, that's going to be a benefit. And then for people investing in One Piece, that's also going to be a benefit. But that is going to be it for the video. You guys let me know in the comments down below what you think. What was your favorite artwork from me? If I can find it here. It has to be this buggy. I really do love this card. I think I'm going to have to cop it. It's sitting around $90. Still a little bit expensive, but it is what it is. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Stay safe wherever you are in the world. I'll catch you in the next one.